it is still going on, and his popularity plunged once again.
Political analyst Peter Matthews joining us again now from our newsroom with more on what is next, what is the next step in this recall effort. And Peter, Helen was saying in her report that the governor has vowed to fight like a Bengal tiger, and that's really all he really can do, essentially, right?
Exactly, but he's got to mobilize his Democratic base. If you get the teachers to vote and the women voters and the African Americans and Latinos and labor, he might be able to hold this off, but it's going to be very, very tough, Helen. It's going to be a tough thing to do.
You know, of the some 1.6 million signatures they got on those recall initiatives, the bulk of them came from Southern California, not Northern California. I think San Francisco only had about 5,000 signatures. So
that's right.
The base he's got to work on is right here, right?
Absolutely. He's got to come down here and campaign and tell the people why he shouldn't be recalled. It's going to be very tough because you got Darrell Issa with a lot of money who can run. He's the only one on the ballot right now, although we have also Richard Riordan might run if Arnold Schwarzenegger doesn't. If Arnold runs, there's a good chance that Arnold could actually win that if he's on the ballot. So he's got to really work very hard, Governor Davis, and get his base back out and organized again to vote for him. It'll all depend on voter turnout, too.
And Peter, as it turns out, the governor's actually going to be in Los Angeles today, I understand. I mean, do you think his people have already put together a strategy of what he does from here to the next 60, 90 days out?
I think that they really have, and they're going to focus on, he's going to try to talk about the expense of the election, which is going to be about $30 to $35 million. He's going to say, why can't that money be spent on something else instead? He's also probably going to go negative on some of the candidates who run against him, especially if it's going to be Issa and also Riordan, and maybe Bill Simon might run again too, even though Bill Simon lost by a few percent to him last time. Yeah. So he's got a strategy definitely going on. He's got lots of strategists working with him. Even nationally, the Democratic Party has come together. The Democratic Party chairman, Terry McAuliffe, has said he's going to stand with him all the way and get him to keep his seat.
You know, I'm thinking, Peter, this has got to hurt him personally. I know politically, but personally, this has got to be a devastating blow.
It is, because he's been in politics for years, I mean decades now. He started at the very bottom and worked his way up very methodically, and he's thought he was going to be safe at least for the next few years and to turn the state around. He had a $12 billion surplus when he came in, so he had lots of plans for that. And now it's a devastating blow to go out this way, if he does go out, that is.
And legally, there really is no challenge for him. He just has to sort of stay the course for what the state law says on all this, right? There's no way he can challenge it.
He really can't. He tried to challenge it on the vote count and also on the circulators. He said a lot of people from out of the state were being brought in to circulate the petitions, but that's already been decided that that's fine as long as the people who signed the petitions are California residents and citizens. That's no problem. Whoever circulated it could be from out of state, and that's based on the Colorado ruling in Colorado, which also legitimized that situation. So he's got to really fight this on a political level now. The legal challenge is over pretty much over for him.
Peter, as always, we appreciate your expertise. Don't go away, because we're going to be going back to you a little bit later. Coming up on Today on LA at 6 o'clock, Peter's going to give us sort of an inside look at some of the potential contenders who are jockeying for a chance at the governor's office. We'll see who has what it takes. We'll talk about all of that coming up at 6. Now, turning to Operation Iraqi.